And Mr. Chair, we are live.
Okay. It's been a while since we've met, since February. Let me start off by reading the basic information we have here. I'm Norm Corbin, and I'm the chair of the Northborough Historic District Commission. This open meeting of the Northborough Historic District Commission is being conducted remotely, which is consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, the town of Northborough has been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public hearings, and as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. All members of the Northborough Historic District Commission are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order allows the Northborough Historic District Commission to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless the chair notes otherwise. Members of the public who wish to view the live stream of this meeting may do so by going to Northborough Remote Meetings on YouTube via the link listed on the agenda. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will feature public comment because it is a public hearing. All right, let's see who's here. Let's make sure all our board members are here. When I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Mike DeShano. Oh, you have to move, everybody has to, here you go.
Yes.
All right.
Here.
Leslie Harrison.
Present.
Xenia Molnar.
Here.
Hey. Bruce Shute is not here. Brian Smith.
Here.
Millie Milton.
Here.
Brian Swanson.
Here.
And for staff, when I call your name, please respond to the affirmative. So for staff, we have Fire Chief David Parenti.
Present.
And we have Julianne Hirsch. Oh, Julianne, you're still muted.
Here.
Perfect. Okay, so the first item on the agenda is in regards to new louvers on the steeple on the First Parish Unitarian Universalist Church. So we should have a Matthew Holtkamp and a Timothy Green participating during this section.
We have a Mr. Green. I will promote him now.
Okay.
Mr. Green, you are up. And you are muted.
Okay, now we're ready to go.
All right. Nice to see you. We've communicated quite a bit.
Yes. Good evening. My name is Timothy Green. I am here on behalf of New Singular Wireless PCS, doing business as AT&T. AT&T currently has antennas in the church steeple, and they've been up there for close to 20 years. And due to upgrades in the equipment and technology, we are upgrading the equipment. We have, actually, we already have a building permit. Now we're going backwards because State Historic wanted us to talk to you. But as part of the upgrades, we are going to be replacing the wooden louvers at the top of the steeple with exactly identical fiberglass louvers. And I have, let's see, how do I can share screen here. So let's pull up drawings here and get to, this is a picture of it looking straight down, and I have a couple different things, but you can see there's a couple of antennas in the steeple, and then we're going to be adding more antennas into the steeple as far as network upgrades and additional equipment. And those are all located, all of this work is being done 75 feet in the air. Other than that, it's all internal work. What has ended up happening is that we're replacing those wooden louvers with fiberglass louvers. And the reason for that, these, I don't know if you can see my, the ones at the top.
Yep.
We're going to replace all 8 of them, even though we're not going to be doing all 8 of them. So everything looks exactly the same. They're custom made, so we don't have basically you can't go and buy them. What we would do is we'll go out and measure these up. They will go back to a factory and they will individually do each of these customized to this, and they would be painted the same color as the ones down below. Once it's finished, nobody would ever know the difference. For instance, I have a picture here of this is a church that we did in Plymouth. All 8 of these sides are fiberglass right now. And inside this, there are antennas in there. But these walls and that window is all fiberglass. So you can get some pretty good detail. In addition, in these balusters, we actually have antennas also. So we matched everything. But the fiberglass is really, it's really slick. You'll never know that you did it.
Just a quick thing. I'm still seeing the plan. Is anyone else not seeing the photos?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm just seeing the plan.
okay. Let me see if you're right. Watch this. There we go. All right, I'm getting good at this now. Here is the area of where, up top there is where we would be doing the work. And like I said, all 8 of those, it's at 75 feet above ground elevation, and all 8 of them would be replaced so that they would all be exactly the same. And any type of weathering in the future, there shouldn't be, but if there was, it should all work on the same thing. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to do, 3 in fiberglass or 5 in fiberglass and then leave 3 for wood. So let me do here. Okay. Do you see the picture of the new steeple? Okay. These windows, this whole wall is all fiberglass. This is one I actually just permitted last month. It's in Plymouth. This church is actually it's Church of the Pilgrimage. The deed is close to like 1628. It's crazy. But this is all fiberglass. And like I said, that we would just go out and take measurements, pictures, go back, create it, replace the wood with fiberglass. And the reason for that is that the wood is not a good, is not RF transparent like fiberglass is. So you have a lot of degradation of the signal. Some of this was actually supposed to be done in 2011 or 2012. It was on the plans, but when we went up there, we saw that it wasn't done. So we're looking to get it done now. I can answer any questions that you may have on it, but basically, once we're finished, you'll never know that we ever did it. It'll look exactly the same.
Do we have any questions from the committee to start?
I
do actually. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Anthony.
Just out of curiosity, how long does something like that take?
It would probably take maybe a week. It'll take us a couple months to have it built, but once you wanted to do it, you're probably talking a week, 10 days to do it with a man lift. You bring in a man lift, work with the church. We'd have to bring it in the front, remove it obviously for Sunday services and things like that. But if we get out there on a Monday, get up, start working around, it's there are also some other things we would do. So I would say probably start to finish 2 weeks.
Okay.
I had one question.
Sure, Mike.
Are you replacing just the ones at the top and not the ones that I'm looking at just above the clock face?
Correct. Those are staying the same.
And those are wood?
Yes, I believe they're
Okay.
wood.
The only comment I would have is probably about 5 or 6 years ago, with Community Preservation Act funding, we had the steeple restored, and there was some significant leaks. That's why that's why there are shutters now at the lower level. I'm just requesting that when you're done your work, we don't have leaks there, because we spent significant amount of dollars to keep that building from getting rain infiltration. So that's,
Absolutely.
That's just-
And I don't think the church would want that either.
no, they're glad that problem went away.
I've got a question, a couple actually. So are you replacing them because of transmission, signal transmission, or because you're going to need to destroy them in order to do the new work?
Oh, no, we're doing it for RF signal transmission.
Okay, so okay.
No, we would not. You could probably you would take them off. You'd probably just take one off to get access in, do all the work you had. But no, it's for RF transmission.
That's what I was wondering, because as Norm said, we just had them installed not that long ago, so I didn't think that signal transmission was an issue with them. But okay, that's good to know. Thank you.
Should we see if there are anybody from the public that wants to have comments? I do have one comment that was texted to me. Let's see if I can find it. I should read it. See what we got here. Nope, it was not a text. It was an email. So there we go. Mitch Cohen lives across the street. He lives at 12 Whitney Street. And it's easier just to read what he says. He has no concerns about either the cell tower nor the solar panel project, which is the next one. And he finds that the church is a great neighbor, and he's glad to see both of these move forward. So that's Mitch from across the street. How do we know if there are any other public comments?
Mr. Chair, the only people in the attendees are the three presenters for the next article. But if you would like, you can ask them, and they can always raise their hand. We'd see a little blue hand come up, just in case they do have any comments.
Yes, actually, they're also involved with the church. So why don't we ask them if they have any comments? Looks like we're good. All right. Give me a second here.
Norm, someone did raise their hand. Gordon
Okay.
Hart.
I don't
Yes,
see that.
I just I have them up. Mr. Hart, go ahead.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, Gordon, we can.
Okay. Yeah,
Yep,
I just.
Mr. Hart. Oh, hang on. I need you to state your name and your address before you go ahead and. Go
Sure, of course. My name's Gordon Hart. I'm a member of the First Parish Church. Active on the Buildings and Grounds. Chair of the task force, which will bring me into our next subject. I was just wondering, question for Mr. Green. Will the wooden louvered panels, the larger ones that are at the medium level, they'll match the new ones made of fiberglass initially? You expect any fading of the fiberglass ones, fading of the green color over time?
No, I'm sorry. No, I don't expect. I mean, everything always weathers a little bit, but you shouldn't have any type of a mass degradation. A lot of the pigment, some of the pigment is baked into it, and the rest is painted on it. It's just regular maintenance and no different than painting the wood on the outside, that once in a while the fiberglass would have to be painted also.
Okay, so it would be painted. All right. Okay, I guess that's a question I have. I know Gene and Ed are on listening in. I don't know if they have any questions.
All right. Well, if there are no further questions,
we have a question from Mr. Harlow. 1 second.
okay.
Hi, I'm Ed Harlow.
Harlow, you're all set. Go ahead.
Thank you. Ed Harlow, 20 School Street. I'm also on Buildings and Grounds at First Parish with Gordon. I just an aside question. I wasn't I don't even know if we want to do this, but are the panels that are there savable if we want to keep them, or they get destroyed in the process of removal?
They wouldn't get destroyed in the process. They would be savable. I mean, you're talking about significant. I mean, if you had a location on the property that you wanted them left, what was left, that could happen. They're a fairly good size though.
Yeah, sure. Like,
You know, I mean, that's certainly something that we can discuss in a pre-construction walk,
okay.
but you'd be storing quite a bit of building material there.
Yeah, we probably wouldn't do it. It just occurred to me that some people might want one for a memento or have a use for it, but.
Oh, well, if that's a memento or something like that, again, I mean, it's you know, again, we can certainly discuss before we, you know, start the construction.
Great, thank you.
Millie, did you have a question?
I did. I don't know if I misunderstood, but it looks like you're replacing 6 antenna. Are you adding any antenna?
We are, let me go back to my share screen to get it exact. I believe we are adding 3, and we are replacing all, there's 3 up there now that are going to be replaced. And there are 3 that are going to be added.
So, okay, because it just said on the application, removal and replacement of 6 antennas.
Let me
So,
go back up to the top here, because let me just see from this will tell me right here. No, I'm sorry, we're replacing all 6. We have 6 up there now.
okay,
Here's the 3 to be removed, and there's the 3 that are going in.
so
It's
3,
it's the 6 replacements.
okay.
Yeah, here's the note here. Existing AT&T antenna, 2 per sector, total of 6 to be removed and replaced. So,
Okay.
All right. I think we're all set, right? Okay, so let me read something that make sure we're all on the same page here. This is why the Northborough Historic District is involved with this. Pursuant to the Mass General Law, Chapter 40C, and the Northborough Bylaw, Chapter 160, the Historic District Commission must hold a public hearing to review any proposed changes to the exterior of buildings within the district that can be viewed from a public way. So that's the whole purpose of this. So the next step is we need a roll call vote to see if we accept the changes. And do this, okay, so. Here we go. So let's go through the roll call. So Mike DeShano.
Yes,
Excuse me,
Mike DeShano.
Excuse me, Norm, don't you need a motion?
Yeah, thank you.
You want me to make the motion?
Sure.
I move that we take a roll call vote for acceptance of the replacement of the 6 AT&T cell phone tower in the church steeple.
The Louvers.
The Louvers.
Yes. Second?
I second.
Okay, so now we'll run down. Mike,
Mike DeShano votes in favor of.
got it. Leslie,
Leslie Harrison in favor.
Zenya,
Zenya Molnar in favor.
Brian Smith,
Brian Smith, in favor.
and I'm also in favor. So it's unanimous by all of the voting representatives of the commission.
Just so we're clear on the motion, you did antennas, but we're doing louvers. We're doing 8 louvers.
Right, it's 8 louvers. I corrected him on that.
Okay, but there's 8 of them, not
8.
6.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fine, just so we're clear. I didn't want the thing to say we're replacing 6. Someone says, what happened to the other 2?
Yeah, thank you for making sure we're accurate. So we are all set. I really appreciate you, Timothy. for coming in and explaining this to us, and good luck with the project.
Thank you very much. Not a problem.
All right, take care now.
Thanks.
A little tidying up we have to do before I go to the next one. We need meeting minutes. Someone's going to be taking meeting minutes. And I want to know who's going to volunteer to do meeting minutes.
I can do them and then send them to you if that makes sense. Or do you want someone who's continuing?
Well, I'm trying to get Bruce to do them, but Bruce couldn't be here tonight. I just have to, well, he's not here, so he couldn't do them. And what we'll have to do for the meeting minutes, I'd love for you to do them, Xenia. This will be your last meeting minutes.
Okay.
And what you'll have to do is watch the video to get the meeting minutes from the first, for the louvers.
The first section. Okay. I just need 1 second to open a document just to.
Oh, yes, of course. So you can do it the easy way. Got it.
Okay.
You're all set? Perfect. So now we're ready for the second public hearing. This one is in regards to solar panels on the property with the Unitarian churches. So I'd like to invite Gordon Hart, Gene Cahill, and Ed Harlow. But I also have to ask Brian Swenson to recuse himself from this discussion since he's on that committee.
Yeah, since I'm on the committee, I want to recuse myself from this hearing.
Okay, very good. So are all of our guests here? I see Ed Harlow is here. Gene Cahill is here.
Looks like, yeah, there are three of us.
All right. Which one of you is going to take the lead?
I was going to take the lead, but did you want the three of us to introduce ourselves first? I mean, I already introduced myself, but
Yeah, you should introduce yourselves and then take the lead from there.
should I do it again?
May as well.
Okay, I'm Gordon Hart. I'm a member of the First Parish Church, Unitarian Universalist in Northborough, Mass. And I'm chairman of the Energy Task Force, which is sponsoring the particular issue that we're going to be discussing. Ed?
That's good. Not Ed. You're muted, Ed.
I am Ed Harlow. I'm on the Energy Task Force as well.
What's your address?
20 School Street, Northborough.
Thank you. And Jean?
Hi, I'm Jean Cahill. I'm at 1 Thayer Street and on the Energy Task Force at First Parish.
Very good. All right, the floor is yours, Gordon.
Okay, we've filled out an application for adding PV solar panels to the south-facing roof of our Parish Hall. You know, we have two buildings, the meeting house, which is the one that Timothy Green was showing you drawings of and pictures of previously. And then our other building is the Parish Hall. And the south-facing roof faces pretty due south. So it's ideal for adding PV solar panels. And a number of members of the church have been interested in this for a while, the means of reducing our electric bills as well as having a greener source of energy. So we have enlisted the assistance of Resonant Energy, which is a kind of a broker that assists nonprofits, churches in particular, add solar panels. And these panels would be 45 black solar panels on the south-facing roof, and they would they'd be flush with the roof. That is, they'd be at the same angle as the roof. And we've got some photographs. Obviously, the panels aren't there, so they're photographs that have been doctored that show what these should look like. But that's pretty much it. Putting them on will be a pretty fast process, 2 days. And once everything's in place, the congregation has approved this. The North Florida Historic District Commission's approval of it. And we've already approved the funding, but I guess you're interested in what these would look like. So we've done our best through some drawings, our drawings superimposed on photographs to bring this to life. Am I able to like Tim did, to show some share screens?
Yes, Mr. Hart, you can just click the share screen button at the bottom and then pick the application you'd like to share.
Okay, first of all, let me just show the resonant energy drawing. Now this is a plan view, as you'd see from an airplane. Okay, so it shows, this is the building, the Parish Hall, and this is the south-facing roof, and here are the 45 panels that we'd be that we're talking about. And let me go to some photographs. This one is one done by, well, Resonant Energy took some of Gene Cahill photographs, and you can hardly see the panels there. Here's another.
Mr. Hart, you're gonna have to stop your share and reshare again because you shared this application, so we can't see your picture.
Oh, you can't. Oh, I'm sorry. Just a second. Okay, let's see. I'm going. This isn't coming up. I didn't realize.
We saw the first picture, Gordon. It's the new one that we don't see.
Yeah, I'm trying to bring this up. Okay, you see that one?
That one we got.
Okay, all right. Here's a view from sort of halfway to the street. Okay, the picture I took, just photograph I took out in our grass south of the Parish Hall. Can you see this one?
Yes, I can.
Yes.
Okay. So this, you can hardly even see the panels.
This is the one that's drawn. The panels are drawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Photograph. And
Yeah.
Can you see this one with the meeting house on the right and the Parish Hall on the left behind the trees?
Yeah.
So this is more of a street view. So from out on Church Street.
Gordon, could you just scroll it up a little bit?
Let's mute.
I'm sorry, you'd like me
Could
to?
you just scroll it up a little bit? We can't see the bottom of the, or maybe it's just my display, but
Just a minute.
never mind. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I think that's all I can do. And then third photograph here, kind of a little further north, I guess that is on Church Street. And here you get the Parish Hall and the view of the meeting house. So yeah, it should give you a pretty good idea what it looks like. So we know it's going to be 45 panels. That's been fixed. And this, yeah, they'll provide a good part of our energy. I mean, the sizing of these is based upon how much energy we use, electrical energy, over the course of the year.
Gordon, we've only seen one of the photographs.
Oh, I thought I showed 4.
We saw
No.
the schematic and then one photo of the roof, the drawing.
I thought, okay, can you see this photograph of the meeting house and the Parish Hall?
No.
Only,
Mr. Hart, are they actually JPEGs, photographs, or are they PDFs?
They're, let's see what they are. Yeah, they're JPEGs.
Okay, so I'm going to stop your share and you're going to go ahead and reshare them. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, no, I can't. Okay. All right. So screen share.
Okay, now go ahead and screen share the picture.
Okay, so let me find them again. Where did they go? Oh, I closed them. Okay, wait a minute. I got to reopen them. Okay, so we had. I can't seem to find them. Oh, okay, wait a minute.
In order to share it, it's going to have to be open. So open up the picture first,
Yeah.
and then click share screen.
Okay, the picture's open. I'll go to Zoom. See, I'm going to Zoom and nothing's coming up, so I can do the share.
You have to make sure that your window is on full screen, and then you'll see the share screen at the bottom.
Hey, let me. Yeah, I can't bring in Zoom at all. It's just not coming.
Can you click return to meeting if you see something about Zoom?
So at the very bottom on the toolbar, at the bottom of your computer, there should be a little icon that looks like it's a blue icon with a white camcorder in the middle of it. If you click on that, it'll open the Zoom application back up, and then you should be able to expand it to full view.
Yeah,
I think I have it handy. I think
Yeah.
I actually have it for your application.
Okay, you have one of the photographs with the application. Yeah.
Want me to try to show it, or?
Sure.
All right, just let me know if this is one you're talking about. Is this what you're talking about? Oops, what did I just do with it?
I mean, that's one. Yeah.
Is that it?
That's one of them.
Well,
Is that the one you want to show?
Well, I was trying to show all four, but I seem to be failing in that process.
But I think
No, that's, I mean, those are, no, I was just showing, this one was one of the, in fact, that doesn't even have the solar panels on it. So that's an old photograph.
I think we're all set. I mean, we know what the panels will look like in terms of, what the design will be on the roof, and that's from the contractors. With the image that you've taken, the photograph you've taken, and you've drawn in essentially what the panels would look like from the street. I mean, that's really the key to me. That's really the key image, and we've got that one. So I'm not too worried about the other ones that we can't see right now. So at this point, I'd be willing to ask any members of the committee if they have some, well, first, if they have any questions about the layout and the like. So who would like to start the questioning?
I had one question.
Go ahead, Mike.
Is there going to be any other kind of infrastructure that's going to affect, how these panels are connected to the grid? Like you're going to have to dig a trench, or you're going to have some sort of a control system. Is that shown someplace where if you do need some kind of a box or something that will control the voltage and whatnot?
I think the answer is no, but Gene, you're more knowledgeable on this. Do you want to answer that question?
Yeah, I looked over at Nativity Church, which has put in a 25 kilowatt array, and I don't even know if you've noticed it. It blends in so well with their roof. And they showed me, the utility closet where they had put the inverter system, and it was very minor interior modification.
So it doesn't even show from the outside?
I don't believe there'll be any difference on the outside, but we have a site visit with the installer this coming Friday. They're coming up for the first time. So we're going to be showing them, every part of the building, and they're going to be working out the design, how it's actually going to go in.
Okay.
With that in mind, keep in mind, it's the view from the street. So if it's ends up being an ugly panel somewhere, just let us know. And if it's not, then don't bother letting us know. Okay.
We
Now
have a-
you can see.
Oh, good. Gordon, you
Here we
found
go.
it.
Oh, I see. That's cool.
I've done it.
Nice.
Yeah. So,
Were there any other questions from the group? Yes,
Yeah, I
Al.
had one. I'm wondering, I'm just curious why you chose the color black and if there are other color options, just out of curiosity.
Jean, you better answer that.
I'm sorry, were you asking about the color of the panels?
Yeah, I'm wondering why you chose black, and I'm not very knowledgeable on the subject, so if there are even other options for colors.
The black is the least obtrusive. If you look around at other panels around town, you'll see that some are much more. They look like there's wiring inside. They're they're multicolored, but they're less less appealing looking. This is just a flat black expanse. But no, there isn't a like one that would match the roof, if that's what you meant.
Thanks. Yeah, I'll have to check around solar panel, look more closely now to see different colors to make a note.
The only real question I have, it's not really so much a question, but I'd like to understand your logic for deciding that that's the best situation for the location of the panels. It seems obvious, but I guess just from an exercise, what else did you look at? What did you consider? If you could just run that by us.
I can take
Well,
that.
okay, go ahead.
Why don't you go first, Gordon? I'll fill in.
Okay, if I look for your hidden meaning about why are we not looking for a permit for ground supported panels? It might be out on the south lawn somewhere. And most PV solar collectors you see out there are in fact ground mounted, especially the solar farms. If we wanted to have a really big array, produce a whole lot more electricity than the church can use so we can sell electricity into the grid, it might be pushing for something like that. But we have single phase electricity that limits us to just having, the 45 panels, it's 15.1 kilowatts direct current to match our electricity use. And so with that amount of solar panels, that total area, putting them on the ground, and with a fence around it and all that doesn't make a lot of sense. It would be a lot of extra cost. It'd be some shadowing from trees and so forth. Jean, whatever you want to add to that?
I was just going to say there's no other place on this property that would have illumination other than the lawn, the common. And we did not think that that would be at all suitable for the historic district. And it would look industrial and would need containment fencing, things that would just not be at all in keeping with the buildings.
Okay, thank you. I just felt that had to be asked. Do we have any, we all set with the questions from the committee?
I actually have I think it's a quick question. I did kind of look over some of the information about solar panels, and it said something about reversible. Can anybody explain what reversible means when they describe solar panels?
Jean, I don't know. Do you know?
No, I've never heard of it, Millie. Can you?
What I read on that, reversible means if another owner comes in and they want to take the panels off, how much of a problem is that?
Okay.
That's what I read, what reversible meant.
Okay, that makes sense. I just didn't see that in the.
Yeah, because you can see that in a home. That would really be an issue with home use.
Sure. Okay.
We did consider the age of the roof, and Resonant, the broker we're working with, said that anything under 15 years would be suitable for an installation. And we have a 30-year certified shingle, and we're in the 10th year of the 30 years, and we expect the life of the panels to be 25 years. So it is possible that there could be need to remove them, and that means it's not so much of a problem to get them off the roof. If you have to take the racking that they are installed on, that's a whole another kettle of fish, but we don't anticipate that happening over the life of the panels.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so the next step, if I understand it, is if there's any community input. Do we know if there's anybody from the community having questions?
There is nobody in attendance other than who's on the screen and my partner, 17.
Okay. And then I just want to reiterate that we did have Mitch Cohen has no concerns about the solar panel project. So he was the neighbor that has no concerns. So that was one input. All right, so we have everybody's input. And now I'd like someone to make a motion. Anybody?
I move that we approve the solar panel project for the Unitarian Universalist Church.
I'll second that. So we'll do the roll call thing. All right. Mike DeShano,
Mike DeShano votes in favor.
Leslie Harrison,
In favor.
Xenia Molnar,
In favor.
Brian Smith,
In favor.
and Norm Corbin in favor. Okay, so it passed unanimously. The next step I'll check my notes. The next step is I do have to send it's application for certificate. I have to fill out the form. I have to get it back to the church for both projects. And then I think I have to send them to the state, but I'll tidy that loose end up tomorrow. Okay, so we're at the end of our public hearings. At this point, we can switch over to our regular committee meeting. Is that, we're all in favor for that? Okay. So
Okay,
Mr.
thank
Chair,
you.
Mr. Chair, I'll be removing the new panelist unless you want them to stay there for some reason.
it's their choice. They're welcome. It's always open to the public.
I'll sign off. Thank you.
Okay. We
Thanks,
don't take
everyone.
offense. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Take care, Gene. I'm just curious, do we have any people watching us at this point, Chief Parenti, or just our gang?
Well, hang on a second. Let me look and see if anyone's watching on YouTube.
So Alex, this is your last visit with us, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, I'm glad that I could see everyone in person, as much in person as we can be. Yeah, happy to be here.
You know, you could be remote from Somerville. You are remote from Somerville, aren't you?
Well, actually, I came back to Northborough to live, like, just wait out the pandemic here for the time being. So I am physically in Northborough.
Well, we'll be missing you for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely been a really, really great experience, made wonderful by all of the committee members. So I'll certainly miss the meetings and contributing, but I hope that I'll still keep in the loop about what's going on. And then if I can contribute anything with articles for the community advocate or anything else, I'm happy to always provide edits or input or whatever is needed.
Well, we'll hold you to that. Sure. Are we all set with the YouTube? Well, I won't let that hold us up. I think we should just move along. All right, it was more of a curiosity on my part. So the regular meeting agenda. We have, let's start with the January 2020 meeting minutes. I sent them out. Has anybody had a chance to look at them or critique them? If there's any errors, edits?
Well, good to me.
Same.
I think those were the ones I wasn't there for.
Someone want to make a motion?
I move we accept the meetings of January 21st meeting.
I'll second. All in favor? Oh, we got to do the roll call. So who, I don't have it in front of me. Who was at that meeting? I was, so I'll accept the meeting minutes. Mike, you were there.
Yes. I accept,
All right, let me-
approve.
I was not there.
You were not there. Alex was not there. Xenia was there because you
Yeah.
got meeting minutes, so you can vote.
I approve.
And Brian, you would have been there, Brian Smith.
Yep.
Okay, so we've got a unanimous okay for the January 2020 meeting minutes. Excellent. Progress. Then the February one went out. Bruce was kind enough to pull that together, and there are some errors in it. Let me see if I can pull that up so what I'm looking at here.
Norman, I was not there for that meeting.
All right, that's what the.
Neither was Xenia. Right.
So there was no, so the February meeting, there was no Xenia, no Alex, no Millie. So everybody else was there then. Me, Bruce. Okay, so only the people there can vote. That's the main thing that comes out of this. Was there anything in the meeting minutes that should be edited or changed, other than the attendees, which I'm gonna fix? All right, someone want to make a motion?
What was the date? It was February what?
The date was.
The 19th.
Sorry, 19th?
19th. February 19th.
19th. I move that we approve the minutes of the February 19th meeting of the Northborough Historic District Commission.
All right, so I'll go down the list again. So Mike
Someone has
DeShano,
to someone has to second.
I'll second it. So Mike DeShano,
Approve.
Leslie Harrison, you were not there.
Approve.
Oh, yeah, you
Yes.
were there. That's the one you were at. Brian Smith,
Approve.
and then myself, approved. So the four of us approved the meeting minutes with the edits with the attendees. All right, moving right along. Old business. Let's see what we can do here. I guess let me just rattle off some things and then please add things that I had forgotten. So the historic bronze markers, both the Cold Harbor Bridge and the Gale General Store markers have been installed. And we thank the DPW for doing that. The Native American Trail marker has been purchased, and as of today, the post has been installed, but the sign has not been attached yet. The cemetery interpretive sign, let's hold that one till later because I want to discuss that one. Newspaper articles. Xenia and Alex, they wrote a newspaper article for the Community Advocate for the two new markers for Cold Harbor and for the general store. I put a small blurb in for the historic Route 20 signs, but I haven't seen it in the Community Advocate yet. I did write an article for the 156 Pleasant Street building that was torn down. So those was split in half. It showed up in 2 editions, but that one was completed. And I just wrote an article. I don't know when it's going to be in the paper for the Northborough Hardware Store. That's on South Street. It's now a woman's doctor's office, just 2 buildings down on the left. I'm getting so depressed with all of the demolitions. I've decided to stop writing articles about buildings that have not been demolished. So that's the first
One
one.
on South Street getting demolished?
Huh?
Is the one on South Street getting demolished?
No, that's why I'm writing it. I'm writing it
Okay.
because it was converted from a hardware store to a physician's office. It's
Nice.
a plastic surgeon's office. In fact, it's 2 buildings that she's converted over. So in my mind, I've got, I'll probably do 1 or 2. I won't do too many of these, but I just felt we need some good news. The Route 20 historic highway signage, that's been installed already. Letters of appreciation. Xenia, you wrote the one for 75 Main Street, is that correct?
I didn't write one most recently. I don't remember.
I did it, Alex.
Main Street. Yeah.
I'm sorry. All right. So Alex wrote one, a letter of appreciation for 75 Main Street. That's the one where there's, it's an antique store. What is it called?
They do like silver and gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they got in the barn. And then there's a little house next door that's been refurbished recently. Town meeting's been delayed again till this Saturday, so we don't know if we have the CPA funding yet for our cemetery. So we'll see. We won't know that till Saturday. Hope the weather's okay. They've already had to postpone it for concerns on the weather. All right, I'm going to jump back up now to the cemetery interpretive signs. We backburned them while we were doing the brass markers. So what I'd like to do right now is start to focus on the Brigham Street interpretive sign. I sent via email something that Beth Finch McCarthy wrote for us. It's a couple of paragraphs. I think it might be a little too long. At this point, I don't want to do the wordsmithing online, but I'd like those who like to do that kind of thing to read it, see if we can shorten it a little bit and edit it, and then get that back to me. But I would like someone to work with to put together the information we would like to put on the sign so we can start to get a quote and then move that along that way. So I'm looking for someone who might want to help on the interpretive sign for Brigham Street. And it's mainly to look at the information we're considering putting on so we can get a quote. Once we get the quote, we can certainly tweak it a little bit, but I want to get to that point soon. So if you don't all volunteer right now, you can email me with your decision to sign up. It's not a lot of work. I just don't want to do it all myself.
Yeah, Norm, I would be happy to take a look at it and then just email it to you. Same. I've already seen some ways we could shorten the text.
Oh, that would be great. That would be great.
We can work on it together and give you one document. Yeah.
All right. I won't complain.
Then I'll take a look at, I'll do the pass after they've done their hatchet jobs.
So we have a plan. Okay. And if you remember, maybe if you go back maybe 4 or 5 months ago, we knew we had some pictures we wanted to put up. You know, if it's an interpretive sign, so it's not just wording, it's a couple of images. I'm trying to get a clear image of a drawing that was made in the 1800s for the cemetery. We also had a photograph of one of the nicer gravestones, and Beth seems to be okay with us using her list of possible people that are buried there. So that would also be included, the list of the people that could be, that she knows are buried there and some of the probable ones. I think that would be.
Hey, Norm, is that town land?
Oh, yes, that's definitely all town land.
Is that maintained by the DPW? They mow it and stuff?
Yes, they take care of it. I don't think it's on the same mowing schedule as the main cemetery, but they do maintain it. In fact, I have to talk to DPW to see how best to do this. So I want to get the package of information in, and then I need to speak with Scott to see how request for bids go out. It probably will go out through his office. That would probably make the most sense.
Are those, I think when I read that, they were saying there's 2 like concrete or granite markers that mark.
There are 4
posts
markers, and they're still there. All 4 markers are still there.
on the fringe, on the corners, or just
all 4 corners. If you ever take a walk, they're all there. One's way deep in the woods, but it's there. So, all right, so at least we'll work on the text and then we'll go from there. Thank you, Xenia, Alex, and Leslie. Committee officers. Every year in April, we're supposed to submit who's doing what. So
I nominate Norm Corbin to continue as our fearless leader and chair.
you didn't give me much time there. All right. I would like to, just so you're all on the same page, we have rotated the chair on a regular basis. So Brian Smith, you were the chair back 5-6 years ago for a couple of years. Bruce was the chair 3-4 years ago for a couple of years. So I'll do it this year because of I don't know, this whole video thing is a little bit different. But next year, I may want to be secretary.
Well, I mean, maybe should we ask if anybody's interested?
Oh, that's a good question. Go ahead, ask.
Is anybody else interested?
I think Norm's the guy.
Thank you for your commitment. I think you have to vote on that, don't we?
You're doing a great job, Norm.
Thanks, Mike. So is there a motion that needs to happen?
I made a motion. Oh, I made a nomination. I move that we vote, that we elect Norm as our president. I'm sorry, chair of the, oh my God, chair of the committee.
I'll second that.
All in favor? I'll go through the list. Brian Smith.
Aye. I'm in favor of it.
Xenia can vote.
In favor.
Leslie?
Ecstatically in favor. Enthusiastically.
Mike?
Yes, in favor.
All right, thank you guys for your confidence. And I'm gonna, I'd like to recommend Leslie Harrison as the vice chair. I like working with Leslie as the vice chair. But before, is there anyone else who would like to be considered for vice chair? Don't all raise your hands now.
These are competitive positions, I'll tell you.
All right, let's see if we can get a motion, second on that motion.
I second.
All right. We're nominating Leslie for vice chair. We're starting with Mike DeShano.
Approve, yes.
Brian Smith.
Approve, yes.
Xenia.
Approve.
And thank you for your confidence.
Yeah, thank you.
Now we have the secretary to do the meeting minutes. I've approached Bruce. He hasn't got back to me yet. Would anybody else want to be considered as the secretary?
It's a fun job.
All right, so I will strong arm Bruce because he's done it a few times, and we'll go from there.
If he's not here to defend himself.
Yeah, I
there you
know. I'm going to nominate him for chair.
That's the best part about being vice chair is I don't have to be secretary. So.
So the other thing I want to update everybody on, though, is with Alex leaving and Xenia leaving, that opens up 2 positions. So certainly Brian and Millie would be the preferred, the obvious ones to fill that position. But just so that everybody knows, they would have to be interviewed by the interview committee. It has to go through that process. And they don't have the interview, I don't think they have the interview committee set up yet from the Board of Selectmen. Is that correct, Julianne?
Correct, yes.
Yeah. So until the interview committee is organized, nobody's getting interviewed. So in the interim, Millie and Brian, you're not fully pledged voting members, but we're gonna get you on as soon as we can. So it's good?
So if we don't have a full complement of members, what happens if we have to vote on something before?
Oh, it's not a problem. That's what the purpose of the alternates are. So
oh, right. They can always slip in. Right. Never mind. Stupid question.
That's the beauty of the alternates. And the other thing is they gain experience. So
a rookie vice chair question. Sorry.
All right. So that was it. Then a couple of other loose ends. Has anybody been following the Historical Society's Facebook page?
I have seen those.
Every day.
Yes, I have.
Oh, I
Those
would
are-
hope so, Brian. Yeah, with Lois doing them all.
Those are amazing. Who's doing those?
Lois Smith, the Brian.
Lois.
Brian
Oh, wow. Oh, those are great.
So there's, for those who don't know it, they've been doing this one a day since April 1st. So if you go, and that's over 100 right now, 100 days. So if you go to the Facebook page, just, they started off with lots of the signage that we have around town. Then they went into, now they're into a variety of different buildings around town, and they're getting a lot of, there's a lot of people that know a lot about the buildings that are adding to the conversation. Hi, Lois. Lois is doing it. Thank you, Lois.
Yeah, nice job.
We've been getting,
Yeah.
we've been getting a lot of good comments about it too. So we're going to try to capture that information as well. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of neat stuff popping up from the townies who know these buildings better than anybody else.
Yeah, right.
What's the name of the group or the page?
It's Northborough Historical Society, and it's the Facebook page.
Okay.
And then John Parmenter also shares it with the I Grew Up in Northborough. So each day when it gets posted on the Northborough Historical Society, John ends up also sharing it with the I Grew Up in Northborough. So you can see it in both places. The only thing is that when he shares it, the comments that are on the Northborough Historical Society page don't come over into the I Grew Up in Northborough. So they're two separate sets of comments. So.
Yeah, it's been a big hit. It's really amazing what the draw's been. Let's see. I got good news today. How many, over the past 4 months, I've had a variety of emails and phone calls wondering what the policy and restrictions are for the demolition delay on some antique homes. So one of them that's been of particular interest is 137 East Main Street. It's a little yellow building. It's 1 story high. It's at the corner of East Main Street and one of the roads going into the over 55 development. It's the Collins. Families lived there for 4 generations.
Wow.
So anyway, so she contacted me to find out if she should put it in for demolition delay, because most of the people that were interested in it were more interested in the land than they were in the home. She contacted me today. The new buyer is a restorer type person. He has no interest in demolishing it, and he's anxious to go in and bring it back to code and work on it. So that's one that's not coming down. That's good news.
Oh, good.
Great.
And Linda and I, for our house, for 35 Witness Street, we got the okay to put it on the National Register. So we've I have a contract now with a woman in Westboro who specializes in doing all the nomination paperwork for houses. And so we're moving along that way.
Congratulations. Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
great.
That's great.
So you're gonna write an article about your house?
Not yet, but it could take 2 to 3 years. That's that kind of a time frame. So, but you know, sitting around doing COVID, I may as well be productive. What else has been going on? Does anybody else know what's going on? You guys are pretty isolated.
What?
You're pretty isolated.
Oh yeah, there's a pandemic in case nobody's noticed.
What was that again? Oh,
there's a pandemic in case you haven't noticed.
So,
is there anything different with White Cliff since we last met? I mean, I don't imagine there's too much.
No, what had happened is we met in February. If you go on the White Cliff's website, there is a update in February as to what's been happening. Essentially, it's a summary of everything that happened for the year from February to February. We were supposed to meet in March, but obviously that didn't happen. And to be honest, without having town meeting in place, I think there's a lot of distraction in town hall to do other things. Hopefully we can get another White Cliffs meeting sooner than later. That's all I know. It's got a new roof. If you don't remember that part, it has a brand new roof on it. So that's good.
Norm, do you know if the Northborough Historical Society has any visions of doing virtual events?
Good point. No idea.
I can interject one, kind of indirectly. So we usually participate in the Apple Fest Street Fair, and the Apple Fest is going on in some capacity. I think it's all being ironed out, but it's pretty clear that Street Fair is not going to happen.
Yeah.
So Rotary, I'm actually a member of Rotary Club of Northborough, and Rotary runs the Street Fair. So and it's a huge fundraiser for Rotary. So we're trying to figure out how to do a virtual street fair. And I've been involved with a bunch of virtual trivia. I have a colleague who does a trivia quiz master, and he's done them in person for me before the pandemic for some of my fundraisers for Haiti, but I've been doing a couple since the pandemic to do online ones. So Rotary is putting together a street fair, and we're hoping it's popular enough that we'll be able to do it over a few nights and culminate actually on the evening that the street fair would have to happen, where that would be the finals. And we'll be approaching everybody who normally has a booth at the street fair. So Northborough Historical Society and Historic District Commission. What we're hoping is that maybe each of the commissions or that will, committees will put together a team and participate. So
that's
I'm
exciting.
Proposing that it would be fun. And don't tell me I'm not good at trivia, because everybody says that, and you get a good team together. But anyway, it works really well. I've done a few of them, and it would be a fundraiser for Rotary, and because it is our biggest fundraiser of the year, and would also be a lot of fun. So
that would be amazing.
Keep it in mind.
Keep us in the loop.
All right.
All right. Our next meeting date. So I don't see anything pressing that we would have to meet in August, but I think we should meet in September. Hopefully in September we can iron out a little bit more regarding the cemetery interpretive signs, and hopefully we'll know if we get the thumbs up to go with the nominating the Howard Street Cemetery to the National Register. So those would be two big things.
Your voice is kind of trailing off, Norm.
All right, I'm getting tired. So I'll do that one again. I'm looking at skipping August, and September 16th would be our next proposed meeting. Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah, nothing, no hearings or anything coming up. That sounds great.
All right.
It's off my calendar.
All right.
Mr. Chair, just a point.
Yes.
He's muted.
Oh.
That if it's going to be a public hearing, you're going to need to make sure that there's a webinar license available on the night that you want the meeting. So the sooner you send in your request to the meeting's email, the sooner that either Di or Linda can get back to you and tell you if that's available.
Okay, that's right. Thanks for reminding me. It's very rare that we have a public hearing. So, but if we do, you're right. We need advance notice for sure. Thank you. Do you want to keep looking at each other's faces for the rest of the night, or do you have another option?
Norman, I have two quick questions from the new business from the last meeting that I wasn't at.
Okay.
The open meeting law review was deferred to this meeting.
Yes.
We just defer it to the next one.
Yeah, there's open meeting. We need to discuss open meeting law, and then there was something else that we had to discuss. But yes, we'll postpone that.
Okay. And then the other one was a question on the painting for the Historical Society to pursue a grant money.
Well, that doesn't really involve us other than guiding them with some of the information we have regarding grants.
Oh, okay. It came from the Historical Society.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, Mike was curious what we can do. I mean, we have information. I talked to them on the grants topic
okay.
occasionally. So
that doesn't need to come up again.
No, that one doesn't need to come up.
Okay. Okay.
And quick question, how am I able to access this recording so I can take notes on the first public hearing?
Just go to the town website, and it says, I get it through the town website. I go to, there's probably a better way of doing it.
The cable TV channel. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, if the best way to get there would be to open YouTube, go to Northborough Remote Meetings. Okay. And then they're all in there on a playlist. Every meeting that we've done since we started this are all available. It'll be up, so when the meeting's not done tonight, I have to finish some post-production stuff I have to do on it. And it should be up by about a half hour after we're done.
Okay, great, thank you.
Any other questions? Any kinds of motions?
I move we adjourn.
All
A
right,
second.
we'll do the list again. So this is a motion to adjourn. Mike DeShano,
Yes.
Leslie Harrison,
Yes.
Zenya,
Yes.
Brian Smith. You want to adjourn, Brian?
Yes.
All right, and then myself. We're good to go. Hey, thank you very much. This worked out much better than I expected.
That was great to see everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody be safe.
Hey,
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Dave.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
thank you.
Some of you.
Bye, guys.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Steve.
Dave.
You've been a great help.
Night.
Anytime.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Night.